Hey y'all, I'm Paula Deen. Now I want y'all to sound the alarms because today we're gonna be setting the kitchen ablaze with some hot and spicy recipes. And my boys, Jamie and Bobby, are here to help me out. First, we'll take a trip to the peanut shop of Savannah for some peanuts to go in my delicious pad thai. Then we're gonna be making a special white bean chili that's sure to warm you and your guest up. And to go with it, we're cooking a fantastic layered Mexican cornbread. And just when you think you can't take it anymore, I'm coming to the rescue with a recipe for orange brownies that's sure to douse those flames. So y'all grab you a tall glass of water, cause today we're turning up the heat.
Hey, Mom. Where are we going?
I'm on my way to my favorite peanut shop. I'm gonna make Michael some Asian food, some pad thai, and I need some peanuts.
Oh, good.
Y'all all ride with me?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. The Peanut Shop of Savannah is the best place in town for home-style peanuts. Their secret is they're made the old-fashioned way, by hand and in small batches. With around 14 different varieties of nuts, I know that I can always find the right kind I need for any dish. They carry barbecue, salsa, even wasabi flavored. But today, though, I think I'm just gonna stick with a bag of the original home style, because I think they'll go great in my pad thai. I always said that about you, Bobby. How'd y'all like those peanuts? And I'll just have to tell you guys, when I first met Michael, we had a lot in common, especially food. And I asked him what his favorite food was. He said, I just love the heat and the flavors from pad thai. And I said, oops, ain't no Thai in this girl. So I had to phone a friend. And that friend was Danny Kim. Danny was born in Thailand. So he sat me down one afternoon and went over all this with me and taught me how to make pad thai. So I can't wait to share that with y'all. I'm really anxious to show off my new skills.
You ready for your apron?
Yes, I need my apron. I love my apron.
Looks good on you. Still a hot babe, huh? Comes in flashes
Yeah, it just
on
comes
the
in,
hour, every hour.
Comes in flashes now. All right, Jamie, son, let's get you started first.
Okay.
First thing we're gonna do is soak our rice noodles. We're gonna let that steep for about 5 minutes.
Do I cover the noodles all the way?
Yes. We're just gonna put it in the bowl with boiling water. And we're gonna let that sit. Why don't you move that over to your side, son?
All right.
In the meantime, I'm gonna get Bobby going over here. Okay, son.
I've got the tofu out.
You've got
and
the tofu.
drain it on the cloth here.
Yeah, because you can see the liquid, and we don't want it to kind of splatter all over us. So you'll want to be very careful. In fact, let Mama just do it for you, okay?
Classic Paula Deen. You won't let me do it, please?
I don't want you to burn yourself.
Let me do something. If I burn myself, it'll be my fault.
Okay.
You ready?
All right, I need a spatula or something, son, to turn this with. And you always want to turn it away from you so it won't splash. All right, how's your noodles, son?
These look pretty good, but they need a few more minutes. So
Why don't we dump ours in some boiling water and like boil it for a minute? What you think about that? All right, well, I'm gonna just step over here and make the sauce for our dish.
And Mama, I think our tofu is ready.
I think so too, son.
So
just make sure you get your spatula good. Oh, that looks great. Looks like a big old cube of cheese or something, doesn't
Yeah, it does.
All right, now I'm gonna make our sauce, and I'm gonna start with tamarind here. And I'm gonna use about 4 tablespoons. Tamarind is the Southeast Asian fruit that actually comes in a pod. And it's gonna give it a nice flavor. And I've got 1/4 cup of fish sauce, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and 1/2 cup of rice wine vinegar. The last thing we're gonna put in this is a preserved ground radish. These are not ingredients that you find in your regular grocery store in South Georgia, I'll tell you. You have to track down that specialty shop. All right, Bobby, get your knife, son, because it's time to cut your tofu. I want you to cut this about the size that I would cut a potato when I make potato salad or you make potato salad. How about that?
Sure. I can do that.
Yeah.
How about around there?
That looks great.
About that?
That looks so...
It looks like Munster cheese.
All right, I want like crepes for this. So now we're going to take like half of these.
I can make an
Sorry. All right, while you're doing that, Bobby, and Jamie, you getting the noodles drained and chilled, I'm gonna pulse these peanuts. And I'm gonna do these in big chunks, and I like lots of it on my pad thai. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, Jamie, where are you with the noodles?
They're finished. I'm just fixing to give them a cool rinse in some water here, and they'll be ready to go.
All right, I'm just trying to gather all my ingredients around me because we're gonna put this puppy together real quick. Now, I've gotten my wok hot, so I'm gonna add my oil, and I'm gonna throw in my fresh chopped garlic, and give that a few swirls, and y'all smell it, guys?
It smells.
All right, now I'm gonna toss in my shrimp, and you can see that I'm leaving that last joint on, and along with the tails. Now I'm gonna add a tablespoon of paprika. And here's where the heat comes in, y'all. 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. All right, and I'm just gonna toss these quickly. And you definitely need 2 utensils for this dish. Okay, those are opaque looking. All right, son, I'm gonna need those noodles, please. All right, I'm gonna toss our noodles over in there. Now I'm gonna pour all of our liquid at one time over those noodles. Look at this, how good it's looking. This is gonna make me Michael's #1 woman. All right, guys, now we're gonna add our bean sprouts, and I just love that. And you don't want these to really get cooked. You want them to just kind of limp out. All right, now I'm gonna take these garlic chives and I'm just gonna do them like this in kind of big pieces because I want them to really be seen in this dish.
Yeah, it needs some color.
Yeah. All right, guys, this is the last step over here at the stove. I'm gonna toss in our tofu. It's still warm from us frying it, but I wanna just warm it back up. And Bobby's got the eggs ready. Oh. I'm just gonna toss this onto our dish. All right, son,
Now, what would you like for me to do with the eggs?
Just toss your eggs on top of that. Yeah.
Sort of a...
Doesn't that look good?
You gonna garnish with this?
Yeah, we can garnish that if you want to. We can go ahead and just put it around like that. All right, Jamie, if you want to sprinkle those peanuts on top, then I think we're ready to eat. You know your mama loves nuts.
God, it's so...
I mean, look what I got.
Well, you got 2 big ones.
All right, y'all pass me those bowls. Let's see, I'll go ahead and fix y'all a serving. With each serving, I want to make sure that I got plenty of peanuts and egg and all that garnish for you. So just take your...
Thank you, brother.
Take your lime juice and just squeeze it. So what do y'all think, guys?
I don't know, let me say.
It's very good. There's nothing overpowering about it at all.
Shrimp are awesome.
Good.
All right, guys, do y'all have anything to do for the rest of the afternoon?
I'm gonna go by the restaurant. I'm going to pick Brooke up. We're gonna go out and maybe have our early dinner.
Okay. How about you, Bobby? You got anything to do this afternoon?
Golf with some friends.
I'm so glad y'all can stay and cook with me, because coming up next, we're going to be cooking white bean chili and layered cornbread.
Okay, now I feel a little bit better about this, Mom, instead of pad thai. This is something Bobby and I have had pretty good experience with.
Okay.
This is our white chili recipe that we've used. So what we're gonna do now here is, I've got the chicken stock. I've boiled our chicken down and I've deboned it and I've chopped it up down here. So I have 5 cups of leftover stock. That's what we're gonna go with today. And also I pre-soaked these beans for 2 hours. kind of take the hardness out of them. So first thing I want to do is drain these off, and then we're going to drop them down in our grease as soon as it comes up to speed. So I'm just going to strain these off, and as soon as that stock comes up, we'll be ready to get this going.
And Mom, I'm making cornbread, which fortunately I've done a million times before.
I'm in good hands.
You know, the hardest part about the chili for me is making it the same way twice, because I just put so many different things into it, and the flavor's always kind of close to the same, but I couldn't tell you for $1 million what the exact recipe is.
I know it, and you know, I think a lot of times your tongue just is different.
Yeah, I like to put different meats into it. If it's in season and a friend of mine has some fresh venison, I love to have venison chili. And hey, you know what? I just realized our first recipe today, there was no butter or mayonnaise. Imagine that. And so what are you doing?
There was no butter. No butter.
You could have keep a side around just to make you comfortable.
We changing that right now.
What's that? 4? You got 4 tablespoons?
Yeah, I got about 4 tablespoons of butter. Now, Jamie, I'm going to be sauteing you some garlic.
Okay.
And some onions. And some jalapeno peppers. Because we're going to spice up this dish.
Okay, Mom, while you're working on that, there's a few things that we're going to put in our beans here to spice them up a little bit, okay? We've got, first we're going to start with a tablespoon of oregano.
Okay.
And we've got a half of a teaspoon of white pepper. Just throw that in. We've also got a tablespoon of cumin, and this is what really gives it that chili flavor. Yeah. That's really the flavor that I look for in chili, besides spice and then the different flavors of the meat. This, we're just going to put a couple pinches of the red pepper in.
In case those jalapenos are not hot enough.
Yeah, and then just going to put a little pinch of salt in here. We're going to crack some black pepper in here. Okay, what I'm going to do real quick is chop up about half a bunch of this fresh cilantro. Now this is something that you may or may not like. So we're going to put half a bunch of that in there. And then I've got our chicken that's cooked down. And Mom, if your vegetables are ready, we'll go ahead
They're ready.
Get all this into our pot.
This handle is hot, so.
You cooking with heat again, Mom? This is really neat because as soon as you drop all that in there, the heat immediately brings the color up so much. And see how pretty all that green is with the white?
Doesn't it look great?
It does.
It's going to be delicious too.
Jamie's pot's just a boiling.
Yep.
Let's make cornbread, honey.
Alrighty. Well, let me show you what we got here. We're going to start out with cornmeal. This is so easy. A little baking powder.
Okay.
Some flour. Just your basic, cornbread ingredients. This is just a little salt to taste.
Okay.
And then we are going to add a couple of eggs to it.
Isn't it great having somebody in the kitchen with you that'll kind of clean for you as you go?
That's right. It really is. Vegetable oil. About 2/3 cup of milk. And we're just going to stir this up until we get it to the right consistency.
And I don't have to tell you guys how many letters I get at the restaurant. Well, I got a letter one day from a lady named Barbara Reese. So we're making Barbara Reese's version of Mexican cornbread today.
And now I've got the right consistency, so I'm going to fold in a can of creamed corn, about a half cup of onions, chopped onions.
Okay, son, get half that batter in there.
All right.
Batter up.
Okay, so I've got half the batter in the pan.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and layer it now with some jalapeno pepper and shredded cheddar cheese, and that's really all there is to it. I'm just going to finish this off now and add the next layer of batter. All righty.
All right, Jamie.
Okay, Mom. We're going to turn the heat down and we're going to slow cook this for about an hour and a half. Okay, and then I have one last thing. Give me that spoon.
All right, Mama, I've got my cornbread ready to go into the oven, and we are going to bake this at 350 for 35 minutes.
Okay, gotcha.
So this is going in. And I've got one ready right here, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it out of the oven.
And one's coming out.
One's coming out. Golly, look at it, too.
Is it hot?
It is hot.
I got a pot of chili that I've been simmering in the back for about an hour and a half.
And you do the honors.
Okie doke. You gon' You want your cornbread in the bottom of the bowl?
Yes, I do.
Okay. There's one.
Bobby, you want some fresh jalapenos on here?
You know I do.
Yeah.
Mama, you want a plate or a bowl?
I think I'd like a plate and a bowl. I think I'm gonna eat mine separately.
Cornbread.
Thanks, Bobby.
Look how delicious that looks. I just love that fat layer of stuff in there in the middle.
That was good, Mama, but you should try it with some chili on top of it.
I should.
Wow, gracious. That is.
It's great.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but after this hot and spicy, we need something to cool us down. And when we come back, I'm gonna share with you an award-winning orange brownie recipe that you're gonna just love. The dish that I'm wanting to show y'all, I told you it was an award-winning dish, and it really is. A young woman was in the restaurant one day, and she called me over to the table, and we spoke, and she said, I just won a side-by-side refrigerator freezer and a trip to San Francisco with an orange brownie recipe. So that's where this recipe comes from. All right, now I've added flour and granulated sugar. This is so easy, I could actually do this with a little hand mixer or almost with no mixer. All right, now I'm gonna put a pinch of salt, and now I'm gonna throw in 2 sticks of butter. I've let these get nice and soft because you'll see there's really not a liquid going in her brownies except for the eggs. Now we're just gonna crack our eggs in there, and we're gonna beat this just for a couple of minutes. And the last egg. Okay, so we're just gonna run that on medium speed just for a couple of minutes. All right, now the ingredients are all wet now, so I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of orange extract. And I've got a little orange zest, and that zest is really gonna give it a little twang. And you can see just how easy and simple this recipe is. And it's such a nice change from like a chocolate brownie. So all we're gonna do is put this in a 13 by 9 by 2 pan, and we're actually gonna spray our pan, which I already have, and we're just gonna put our batter into there and spread it out real nice and even. Waste not, want not. I can't get that saying out of my head from my little grandmother hires. I just think it'll ever leave me. We're just gonna spread this out. So that's ready to go. Just that simple. All right. We're gonna put this into a 350-degree oven for about 30 or 35 minutes. With the boys here with me today, I really got a lot done with their help. So I've got one that's ready to come out. We're just gonna sit it right over here. The glaze that Robin uses on this is a very quick little glaze to mix together. I'm just gonna use powdered sugar, orange juice, and I'm gonna add the zest to it. And before we pour on our glaze, I'm just gonna take our fork and puncture holes, and that glaze is just gonna run all down in that brownie and just make it all moist and wet. So while our brownie is still warm, I'm just gonna drizzle this glaze right on top of it. Now, if you're like me and you like your glazes on the heavy side, all you have to do is double your recipe and just make it really, really kind of thick on there. And this is gonna be so delicious. And you can see all the dogs are moving around, and they know something's fixing to be going on plates real soon. All right, I think I'm just gonna put out a few for us. Oh, all right. I'm gonna just put the guys and us some on a dish, and it was faster and easier than a box brownie. Oh, so good. I'm gonna stop now and meet the boys at the table. Y'all don't go anywhere because when we come back, I'm gonna have some tips for you. Before I join Bobby and Jamie at the table, I want to share with you just a few tips on today's meal. If you have any of those delicious white beans left over, drain them, throw them in the blender, add a little garlic, olive oil, and lemon juice, and you'll have a delicious hummus, and you can spread that on your crackers. And if you're able to find these wonderful raw peanuts, by all means use those for your pad thai. But you'll just want to remember that they'll need to be roasted off to bring out the full flavor of them. And y'all take advantage of all these great hot sauces out there. They've got a sauce to fit every tongue. Okay, guys, y'all waiting on me? I'm sorry. Gosh, everything looks so good, doesn't it? I don't know whether I want to start with the pate or the white bean chili or that scrumptious Mexican cornbread or those delectable orange brownies. I don't know what to start with.
I know what I want
How
to
about
do.
you, Bobby?
I'll have a little bit of everything.
Okay, what do you want,
I
darling?
want to tell everybody, thanks for watching, and from our kitchen to yours, best dishes.
No,
No?
you got to do it better than that.
Oh.
Let me show you how it's done. Until next time, America, best dishes from our kitchen to yours. Did I embarrass you, son?